Hey everybody, it's Friday night. It's just about 5 o'clock. I thought I'd go ahead and record this video so you guys can get a handle of what you need to do before you finish your paper. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my face here. You don't need to be staring at me. You need to see what's on the screen, and I'm going to talk you through several things. And this is for your revision before you turn in your paper on Monday morning. So let me get rid of my face. I'm still here. What I've done is I went to No Red Ink and I copied and pasted several paragraphs from different people, even different classes. So don't worry about the content here, but I want you to know what you need to do. As you see, it looks like it's all highlighted, and that's only because I changed the screen, the page color to a color. If it was white, then it would look like this. You wouldn't know that something was wrong with the paper. So I'm going to do this again. Bring it back to a different color here. And let's go pink. No, I don't want to go that dark. Just something that will reveal that something's going on here. Okay, so this is why it's so important to clear your formatting before you do anything with your, making sure your format is good and everything that we're about to go through. Okay, so here we go. What you do is you Control A on your keyboard. That'll highlight everything. And you go over here to that T that's crossed out, and you see it says clear formatting. So I'm going to click on that. And once I've done that, you see it already makes some adjustments to the size, the font. It goes to my default. So everything is still highlighted. So I want to make sure everything is good. I'm going to start with making sure that my margins are what they're supposed to be. And I have 1/2 inch margins. That is not what I want. I want them all to be 1-inch margins. So I'm going to change all these to 1. And I'm going to hit OK. I'm not going to worry about changing a page color yet, just for the purposes of this video. So once I've done that, I have my margin set up like I'm supposed to. Everything is still highlighted. So I'm going to make sure it's in a font that I like. And remember, I do not want something creative. I don't want something like a handwriting or some kind of creative font, something normal. Georgia is fine. Bitter is fine. I'm actually going to use Georgia just for my personal preferences. And then you make sure it is in 12 point. So make sure it's 12. And then go all the way over here to make sure that it is in double space. So my line spacing here, click that, double space throughout. And then just to make sure there's no extra spacing, I'm just going to go ahead and scroll through. I'm going to go ahead and click on it now. So my highlighting is gone for the whole thing. I know that that's the end of a paragraph right here. And I know that there's an end of the paragraph right here. And that's all I did was 3 paragraphs over here to show you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure my paragraphs are good. I'm going to hit the tabs before each paragraph. So tab that one over. I'm going to go in front of that, tab that over, and one more, tab that over. So as far as formatting with the paragraphs, the intro body paragraphs, pretty much done. Okay, so I'm good. I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'm going to hit enter 1 time. Remember, never 2 times. I hit the up arrow, and I'm going to hit the backspace so it's all the way to the left. I want to do that because I want to make sure my center justification is where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to hit center justification. That's here. And I'm going to put a title. Sorry, I cannot type and talk at the same time. Just not that talented. Okay. Then I'm going to go back to the beginning of that. I'm going to hit enter 1 time. I'm going to go hit the arrow up 1 more time, and then I'm going to go back to left justification. So it goes all the way to the left. Now I'm going to put what I call a heading, not a header. Remember, the header in Google world is something different than what you want. So notice I have not gone to any of my other tools up there. I'm just going to the top of where my page is, and I'm going to type the 4 lines that I need. So it's going to be student name. Okay, so your name, first name, last name. Then it's going to be the class name. And I'm just going to do English 3 for an example. And then I like my name to be third, and you do want my title, my first name, and my last name. And then the due date of the assignment, and you want it in this format, 17 December 2018. If I see anything different than those 4 lines, okay, don't play Captain Obvious with me. But if I see anything different, if you try to be creative with the date here and you put 12-17-18, you're going to lose some points, period. It should look just like this. Okay. Notice it is double spaced all the way through. There's no extra spaces. I don't have to hit enter anywhere. Okay. All the way through the paper. That's what it should look like. I do have some notes at the bottom. I'll go through that in just a second. Now, one last thing before you move on to some of the other things with this paper, we want to insert your page number. So we're going to hit insert. We're going to see where it says header and page number. Do not hit header. That is not what you want. That's why I didn't show it to you. Do not hit header. You scroll down to page number, and there'll be another side window that comes up, and you want the one right there that has the number in the top right of the page. For my other classes that I was being creative with last semester or last quarter, top right is what I want this time. So top right, when you click on that, you'll see that it has the cursor behind the number 1. Go ahead and put the cursor in front of it and type your last name and a space. Once you do that, type into your page. So you are done with the formatting. The rest is inside the paper, making sure that it's looking like it's supposed to. So you want to pay attention to when there are quotes, like that section right there, that you are making sure that it is punctuated correctly. This is not. So make sure those things are cleaned up. Make sure that all of your elements are there. And if you did it all through no red ink, then you know that you should have at least a B or an A standard in there. If you did not get all the way through the process, then you know you have some extra work to do, period. There's nothing else I can say about that. All of you will have to write your conclusion paragraph on your own before that gets submitted to me. All right, so let me go through this list here. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. These are the things I am not looking for. A lot of people ask me, am I looking for word count? No, I don't have the time to do all that. You don't have the time to filter and get down to a certain number. If we had a few more days, then yes. But for this paper specifically, no. Works cited page, we're not doing a works cited page. Again, time. We don't have time to make sure that's all formatted correctly. Just make sure that when you do have quotes, which all of you will have quotes from your text, from your novel, make sure that those in-text citations are done correctly. You need the author's last name, page number. If you're bringing in material from another source, make sure that that is clearly written out too. Am I looking for a specific number of paragraphs? The minimum is going to be 4 for most classes. There is one class that has an exception to that. You know who you are. We have a little bit different rubric for that class. But the rest of you, the minimum is 4 because that's what we've done in Google Classroom. You have an intro paragraph, you have 2 body paragraphs, and then you have to write your conclusion paragraph. If you have a 3rd or 4th, in some cases 5th body paragraph, perfectly fine, not a problem. Excuse me. All right, and then just for emphasis, make sure, I'm going to go down to the next page here so we can see that all in one spot. Just for emphasis, here are the things that you do need. Formatting, make sure you clear it just like I did at the very beginning. Do that first to eliminate all of your problems. Heading, not header, with your name, class name, my name, due date, in that order, just like I showed you. You need a title. Be a little bit creative with that. You need your page number. That needs to be in the top right of the page with your last name and then the number. Make sure it's double spaced throughout. You have a normal typeset, 12-point black ink, and then turn that into Google Classroom Monday morning. Okay, there are no exceptions to that. Monday morning. That way I can start grading whenever I get my time. Okay, so we have like 30 seconds left of this. Guys, this is it. It's crunch time. So over the rest of the weekend, make sure you're checking in No Red Ink. Make sure you have everything done. I'll see you and ready to test you on Monday morning. All right, talk to you later. Have a great weekend.